Touched on retirement planning quite a bit, and number 6 is estate planning. Estate planning is important for some people, less important for others. Estate planning really is what happens after you die, and it's the legacy that you want to leave behind. 6 components of the financial plan. How do you build a plan? By now you should be able to at least help me out with this. Where do we start? Goals and objectives, right? You want to start with the end in mind. 2, you want to collect data, right? What data are we looking for? What kind of information do we want?
Resources.
Yeah, you want your resources, the ones that you have now. You want the resources that you need. You want to figure out.
Going to have.
Yeah, you want to figure out the ones that you need to get. You want to really identify and get as much information about the end goal as you can. You want to get as much information about where you are right now. You want to get as much information as you can about the path along the way. Fill in the major milestones. Specifically, a start date and end date. Projected end date. Right? We can't tell the future, at least I can't. Maybe one of you can, I don't know. But set a hard start date and commit to it. If you say, I am going to start doing 10 push-ups a day tomorrow, and you're going to increase it by 5 every day for a week, and then so on and so forth, start tomorrow. Don't let yourself lie to yourself. Don't let yourself fool yourself. Okay? Because it just develops a whole bunch of bad habits, and then before you know it, you tell yourself something, and you don't really believe it. Right? You're like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. And you just let yourself get away with it over and over and over again. Hold yourself accountable. And then you connect the dots. Really, you build the roadmap, right? Take action. Again, there's that word, take action. Action and focus, right? What are the 3 big things that a plan draws out for us? Goals, focus, action. A plan without action is useless. It's a wish. It's a wish. I hope that I win the lottery, right? There's my plan for getting rich, right? Not a whole lot of action I can do. I can go and buy all the lottery tickets, right? Maintain focus. What's that?
I said, you mean that's not a valid retirement strategy?
It is for most Canadians.
Yep.
Sadly it is. Or they think it is. They're banking on winning the lottery. And it's because they haven't made the plan. It's because they're overspending in areas that they shouldn't be. It's because they haven't increased their skills in order to get a bigger income. It's because they get the raise and then adjust their lifestyle up to the new level of income rather than keeping it steady and putting the extra income where it's got to go. Right?
It's true. You make that money, you spend that money.
Okay. So I did want to go through this. I don't think I'm going to because I'm running short on time. If you had a plan to cure cancer, where would you go?
Cool.
Yeah, you might go to school. Let's say you have nothing that qualifies you to be a cancer doctor.
But they have a cure for cancer?
No, you wanted to cure cancer. It's just like you woke up one day, you felt really ambitious, like I'm going to cure cancer.
Well, then I'd probably donate to people who are researching cancer cures
You might.
or something like that.
And where would you go to find that?
Google.
I would go to Google, right? and as a matter of fact, I went to Google, and there was a young man who did just that. It actually blew my mind, because I was like, what happened if I just want to cure cancer one day? I just wanted to kind of find out what I would learn. And there's a guy on there who went to Google and asked the questions, like, I want to cure cancer. I have no qualifications to let me do it. Where do I start? And he's come up with this really elaborate plan. He's not going to go to school because he's afraid that it's going to taint his ambition, and it's going to put blinders on.
Change his focus.
Exactly. He's going to go around the world, and he's going to talk to all the top cancer researchers. He's going to blog about it. He's going to write about it. he's going to become the linchpin that everybody goes to for the answers, because he's gonna have them, right? He's gonna connect all of the cancer people, and you never know, the cure for cancer may come out of that.
That's cool.
So how will my plan help me reach my goal? These guys are climbing Mount Everest. Do you think they had a plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Where do you think the plan started?
On the ground?
On the ground, yeah.
before they even
Probably,
got to Everest.
probably 12 to 18 months before they ever got there.
Yeah.
They're gonna start looking for equipment, they're gonna start looking for training regiments, they're gonna start preparing their bodies for what they're about to go through, they're gonna line up a guide, right? The guide is gonna start making a plan. When they get there, it's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna spend this much at the base, this much time at the base of the mountain, then we're gonna climb for a little bit, then we're gonna spend this much time at this altitude, so on and so on and so on. There's gonna be plans for what happens if there's a freak snowstorm and we're trapped, right? You see that they're all tied together with ropes and they have ladders set up already? That's all been planned. It's gonna help them reach the summit without dying. It's kind of
It's a good goal.
a good goal, right?
How do you reach the summit without dying?
You follow the plan. And what happens? Your plan is going to get derailed from time to time. What happens when it gets derailed?
Keep your focus on the end goal.
That's right, you keep focused. You double down on what you're supposed to do and you carry on doing it. Right? I know that, okay, I got deterred or I got delayed a little bit. Something come at me that I didn't see. These guys are already working on getting the train back on the track because they had a plan to do it. They had a contingency plan. They were sitting around a table one day saying, hey, we want to get a bunch of freight from point A to point B. Let's use the train. And somebody put up his hand and he was like, what happens if the train falls off the track? And they looked at it and said, you're fired. No, they said, I don't know, let's make a plan for it. Right? They got the plan all written out, they gave it to the engineer, I would imagine, and he said, if the train falls off the track, this is what you're supposed to do. Train's off the track, they're doing it, right? They made some phone calls, they got some people in there, they're probably going to get some equipment, there are a whole bunch of guys that push that back up, I don't know what kind of equipment they
Picturing
had back in that day.
horses, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
horses.
they could just pan over a little bit, I bet there's lots of horses.
There's probably lots of horses over there.
Big ones.
Because I saw that picture the other day and I thought, it's gotta be horses.
I threw this in there because it's so true. You're gonna make your plan, and this is what it's gonna look like when you make it. By the time you get to the end, if you mapped it out, if you could actually map it on a piece of paper, that's what it will look like. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a grind. You're gonna have setbacks. Right? But you keep at it, you're gonna get there. You will get to the goal. You get somewhere close to it anyway, right? Again, maybe you get halfway up, you're like, hey, my objective changed. This is not what I want to do anymore. This is. So you go the other way, but you're already closer to the new objective because you started down the path to begin with. Right? Darren Hardy, I love this quote. I don't know if anybody has ever read a book called The Compound Effect. It's a great little book. It's an easy read. Pick it up, read it. He says, the accomplishment of any goal is the progressive accumulation or compound effect of small steps taken consistently over time. What does that mean?
Baby steps gets where you need to go.
That's right. It means that the little habits that you develop day in and day out, it's the difference between going home and having a beer or 2 or 3 every night and going home and doing a 45-minute workout every night. You might be in the exact same spot as the guy that's having the beer, but 5, 10, 15 years down the road, I bet you your lives look very, very different. Right? And that, I think is the end. That is the end. Hashtag everyone deserves a plan. I really, really and truly believe that with every fiber in my being. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. There is a little questionnaire on the back of the very last page. Feel free to fill it out. Any comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want me to answer going forward, you can leave me some contact information. I can get a hold of you.
Yay.
Excellent job.
That being said, does anybody have questions, comments, concerns? Anything you want to address? Anything you wanted to hear more of? Did I ramble? I wasn't even watching you on the. Andy was my ramble cure. Come on, Steve, get going, right? Mostly it felt like everybody was engaged. Was there any parts where I kind of lost you because it was just dragging on?
Well, you know everybody here, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say right now, so Steven and I worked together at Bunch Welding. When I started working at Bunch, Steven and I worked together a lot. And I'm gonna be honest, I suffered through some of Steven's tailgate meetings.
Yeah, some of them were not very good.
And that was very different from those days, so
Yeah,
you're doing fantastic.
that's the difference between being really engaged
Yeah.
in what you're doing
And going
and
through
doing
the
another
motions.
tailgate meeting,
I know, yeah.
right?
But
I know these things.
don't take that as criticism of before, take that
No,
as
no.
a compliment for where you are.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know that I've come a
Huge.
long way. And like I said, I credit a lot of that to just doing it, right? It's, I've been going to Toastmasters now for almost a year. It hasn't been as consistent as I would like it to be because of work, but I'm going as often as I can, I'm speaking as often as I can. And something almost magical happens when you find a topic that you can really get behind, when you're really passionate about it. It makes it way easier to speak on it, it makes it easier to talk to others about it, it makes it easier to study it. It's different.
Well, yeah, if you truly believe in something versus complaining about a deadline at at a tailgate meeting. Gives you something to actually
Well,
work
I just
towards.
wanna say, I worked with a lot of welders and a lot of pipe runners. Don't take offense to that,
Well, I don't.
but, you know, at the end of the day, they just weren't my people, and I knew that, right, so it was really hard for me to stay engaged at work. I didn't mind the work when I was certain aspects of the work, right?
It's the environment.
I didn't care for the environment, I didn't necessarily like, I didn't like being away from home as much as I was.
No.
So I'm curious,
Yes.
for you two guys, are you guys gonna get a plan now?
Well,
That's right.
I said, are you
So?
gonna get a plan now? That's the whole question, the $64,000 question.
Yes,
Are we gonna plan now?
absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna create a plan. Talk to my wife about her creating a plan. Drag her out to the next one of these.
Well, and the thing is that I do the planning part for free. Like, it's a totally complimentary service. Right? Our success, the way our business is run, is our success is contingent on your success.